has no choice but to succeed. We figured out the role of Joe, figured out the role of Manny, figured out the role of Shar.
Now the head honcho.
The head honcho, the man who was cast out, Stan. Very important numbers that paint a clear picture of the narrative that's being played by the Ltnc company and Joe Pavlik and the rest of the characters involved.
Joe is silent, but the Bears are butthurt, the paper hands are pissed, and the OGs are cautiously optimistic going into the final 2 days of the first 100 days of Next Level, the ticker symbol LTNC. And you know what? I've been breaking it down using Gematria to enhance our DD. And this video right here is probably the one that you need to see the most. Make sure you watch the full video today because this one is an absolute banger. What's up, everybody? Art Turner, D.A.T.A Productions Media. Dreams are tangible aspirations where we scheme our dreams into existence. We're going to go over this last week, and then I have a amazing conversation with one of my decoders who helps me, create these videos, is Nate. If you go back to a couple videos ago, my other hour-long video, it was me and Nate talking on the back end. And, I know you guys value your time, but if you really are invested in this company, you want to know how this company is working and what it's doing to become just a mega brand down in the road, and you want to know why and how you're going to get rich, and maybe on how you can use this knowledge for other stocks in the future, you're going to want to watch this full video. We go over a lot of key things, a lot of great esoteric things that people don't understand, but it's bringing up to the light. And it's all positive things for Next Level moving forward. So I'm going to get through as much as I can as possible. And so in the back end, you can just listen to the conversation. And I'm going to have notes up. And as we go through, and I will talk as needed. At first, yes, Labor Smart did get down to a half a penny at one point. It got all the way down to 0.0052. But that was on Wednesday, I believe. Yep. Wednesday, we got all the way down there. We shot back up all the way up to 0.0092. So that was a really good swing. That was almost like a 40-50% swing in 2 days from Friday. And we got some amazing news that Ryan Shadell is going to be taking back the temp agency labor part of the company, and that should help Next Level and the takeover team get pink even faster. So we're going to go over the Form 8 a little bit, and we're going to get into the Gematria Decodes and whatnot. So make sure you stay in the full video, okay? But first, we're going to go to Twitter and go over some things that happened this past week. As we talked about before, Joe stopped tweeting after July 13th. So the first day he stopped tweeting was July 14th. But this was Tuesday. He dropped, it was a pretty good tweet about Manny Pacquiao's signature cans that they're going to be doing as a charity. And so we're just going to peep the back end of this real quick. Aha! It's 37 seconds long too, y'all. Come on! It said 37.
Next Level asked me to partner with them to support my foundation. I had to say yes. Next Level Hydrogen Water increases my stamina and improves my recovery time. I drink it every day as part of my workout routine. A percentage of the sale of every one of my signature cans will go towards my Manny Pacquiao Foundation. Get your Next Level Pacquiao signature can and join the fight for those less fortunate today.
Watch these cans that come up. Hey. So look at these cans. That's going to be pretty cool, and these are going to be some signature cans that might be worth some money down the line once this company works out. So that's pretty cool to see. So that was his very last tweet. And over the weekend, he said we were to get some accounting and financial news, which we did on Friday from Ryan, essentially. And over the weekend, Manny met up with the Paul brothers, so Logan Paul might have a connection with Next Level. We're going to get into a minor decode with that as well. But yeah, that was the last day that Joe tweeted. Going over to Ryan Shadell's tweets during the week on the 15th, so the second day of Joe not tweeting, he had these 2 Easter eggs. Ryan had these 2 nice little nuggets of information. So first, the NACS show floor plan, which shows that Next Level got a nice corner spot, which is big time if you think about it. A no-name hydrogen water company gets a nice corner spot at a big retail convenience store convention. Come on, you don't get that unless you have some big money, big buyers, some big names behind this, all right? This is bigger than just your, mom and pop beverage company that's trying to come up. Like this is big business that's happening, right? What they're doing is like just elite across the board. And so we're going to get a little bit Gematria as that as well. And then this Easter egg that popped up, Ryan, I guess, supposedly got this link, and it was this page, this landing page online on the nextlevelusa.com website, and it's Joe's photo, and it's him saying, just landed, all right? And it's off a plane on this landing page, right? So it's this. Okay. This is an Easter egg, and this dropped on July 15th. So we're going to get into Gematria Decodes as well on that. And we're going to talk about what Ryan did on Friday with that Form 8, right? He came in the clutch, and he bought back the labor side of the company, which should help Next Level get pink even faster. So that's very big information. We've talked about it all the weekend and everything. Yes, there's other things that happened during the week. The FUD with the TD Ameritrade issue on August 13th, where if your company is not pink current, you'll only be able to sell the company, not buy, until they get pink current. So, that caused some people to sell. And they may be, regretting that decision in a couple weeks, depending on how fast, Next Level can get current. I just want to throw that out there. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. If you're a long-term holder of this company, you have to believe that they'll get this done before that September 28th deadline, right? So that's where I'm at with it. And so I just wanted to give you, that heads up. Plan. If you're worried, if you're worried, just plan. Go to another brokerage. Go to like Schwab or something like that. E-Trade. You can do that. But I'm going to be holding my shares in TD because I think I am done. I'll bring it up in the Gematria Decodes, but it's funny how, this world works in synchronicities. Okay, so here's that Form 8 that was filed. Date of report, July 14th, 2021. And which is really interesting is I took that IRS employer identification number and I did some Gematria on that, which comes up to an important number for this company. At the end of the day, it's pretty much, you can read it yourself. You can find it on Ryan's page. He buys back the labor company, and according to Ryan, this is going to be a $2.1 million swing. So that's good. That's good. And at the bottom, there was some confusion with Tony McBride and Joe Pavlik. So Tony McBride is the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of Takeover Industries Incorporated. I think that's been pretty well known. And Joe Pavlik is the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of LaborSmart Inc. of Ltnc. I think that should, clear up any confusion on who's the CEO of what company. Toby is Takeover CEO. Joe is LaborSmart. All right. So, yeah, if you want to read more and actually get into the nitty-gritty of it, just go to the SEC reports, AK LaborSmart Inc. Before we get into my Gematria Decodes and the conversation I had with Nate, I just want to let you guys know I do have a Patreon where once a month I do monthly sports documentaries. I have 2 out already. I did Michael Jordan's last shot versus the Utah Jazz for his last championship. I dropped that last month, and this month I did the esoteric meaning behind baseball, and masonry. That's another great documentary. It's dense, jam-packed with knowledge that you could really assist you in your life. So if you like my sports documentaries, that's only $5 a month. That's a coffee a month, and you get some great edutainment, or something along those lines, infotainment. You get a lot of information, but it's also entertaining. If you love my Gematria stocks, if you love my Ltnc notes, and you want to use those for yourself and learn, you can get those tangible PDF documents on this tier on my Patreon. Gematria stocks, newsletters, and notes. This is only $5 a month as well. Early access to my investment notes before the video release. It's downloadable, and I'm already into the thousands of Gematria connections at this point. And it's just exclusive work to enhance your ability to invest in the stock market esoterically, because you know what JP Morgan said: millionaires don't use astrology, but billionaires do. And with inflation these days, you can't be thinking like a millionaire. You got to think like a billionaire. So take JP Morgan's advice. Get my Gematria stocks tier if you would like, and support the channel. Or if you want to do both my documentaries and my Gematria stocks, no problem. I have my Dream Schemers Ultimate Woke Pack. That's $8.63 per month. That's a $1.37 discount. I love that 137. That's the 33rd prime, big number, where you can get both, and you can just elevate to the next level the data production's way. So it's in the pinned comment below. It's in the description. I have my email list as well if you want to support that way, so you can get communication when it's time. But without further ado, let's get into the Gematria Decodes. Okay, y'all, the Gematria Decodes. So let's get right into it so we can get into that conversation, which is truly the real gold of this video today. The conversation me and Nate have intertwines everything together. It wraps it up, and it shows why we're going to be successful. You're going to be a happy investor. Anyway, I just wanted to throw this Logan Paul decode in there. Logan Paul next level hydrogen water endorsement equals 555 in reverse ordinal. You know how 55 plays with this company with the next decode. Look, Labor Smart Inc. equals 55. Blue Ridge, Georgia equals 55. And, we just saw that Manny Pacquiao is going to have his own signature cans. Next level Manny cans equals 55, and that's all in the reduction. But you see with that extra 5, it's a little bit more power. So, that's might be down the line. Who knows? We'll see. I just wanted to throw that out there, that maybe the Paul brothers could even have an affiliate link. They might not even be an endorser, but even if they get an affiliate link and they put it out to their people, they're going to buy and sell out. So that is like a possibility. So we'll see. July 12th started this week, and you know how 33 plays. We know 33 equals magic. Magic Joe Pavlik loves using 33 when it's time to really raise the stakes and really show what he can do. And I really think, even though he went silent at one point, he did a lot within that silence still. And as you see, look, we have next level and Manny cans. They both equal 104 in the English ordinal. And you see next level equals 23 in the reduction, and Manny cans equals 32 in the reduction. So you see those mirrors, those flips. So that's interesting. And so there was some 33 magic with me on the 14th of this week, the 14th of July. I believe that was Wednesday. I bought back in, and I got my share price up to 333,055 shares. And why did I pick that number? Yeah, obviously, 33 is a big number in my life. But I woke up that day, and I'm like, man, I need something to put in the calculator so I can buy something. Like, what number could pop up? And bam, lo and behold, this is what popped up. And this is my full name. D. Arthur Turner IV will be wealthy from next level hydrogen-infused water beverages. 333 in the purest reduction cipher. So that's very powerful in my eyes, like very, very powerful. So I'm glad to have my share price at that right now, and I'm feeling really confident moving forward. And we had a great end of the week. And to even go on top of that, this is what happened the 14th when I bought in. We went down 33.33%, right? We know how Turner plays. Turner equals 33. 33 is a big number in my life. All those threes. D. Arthur Turner will be wealthy from next level hydrogen-infused water beverages, 333. And we're down 33.33% on the same day I buy back in to get to that price. Synchronicities, man. That's a little magic right there. And obviously I didn't plan that. Things happen, right? But I know of the source knowledge, though. And so let's keep moving forward. So Joe Silent, we have that big 37. 30, we know 37 plays a role, but we also have that 53, that mirror of 35, Joe Silent. But also, look, Joe Silence, we have that 43 in reduction, 43 GOAT. And we have that 56 in reverse reduction. And we have short squeeze, which equals 56 in reverse reduction as well with Joe Silence. And when he went silent, the stock, it went down on that Wednesday, but it went up Thursday and Friday with that continued silence, right? So you could see it was like a short squeeze up, right? So people were calling for Joe to just be quiet and let the stock do what it needs to do. And we had some good days. Well, we have it in the numbers as well. We have it in the Gematria. We talked about the Joe landed. We talked about the corner store floor plan, but let's get into some good Gematria with that. So right around the time that, next level Ltnc started to get positive in price, squeeze up in price, this news comes out with the floor plan and Joe landing. Look, corner booth equals 56 in reverse reduction. Just like short squeeze, just like Joe Silence, right? Corner booth. Corner spot, we have that 53. We know about 53. Joe Silent, we have that 53. We have that 55. We know about 55. All the numbers that go back that we've been talking about this whole time, right? And that was great for the floor plan. Again, that's elite. We have an elite corner spot, man. I mean, that's big time. And that's in October, I think, in Chicago. So that's going to be big time. Joe just landed. We have 140 in that 41. Well, that's important because next level, remember, 104. So 14, 41 in the reverse. That's important. We have no Joe, Dave 96. That was the first day. There was no tweet at all from him. Lo and behold, look, 104, English Ordinal. Next level, English Ordinal. We have that 52 in reverse reduction, just like Joe Pavlik. And we're going to be talking about that 101. Joe just landed on day 97. Talking about that magic at work. Look, 303, reverse ordinal, 33. Joe just landed July 15th, right? That conspicuous landing page. Where is Joe? Everybody's asking, where's Joe? Well, he's got some up his sleeve. And so, look, and this is where stuff really starts getting really intricate, right? Watch this. Joe just landed on day 97. 351 in English Ordinal. Okay, we know that number is important. 351. And the reverse of that, the mirror of that, is 153, which is an important number. Well, just look. NACS, corner spot, next level water, also equals 351 in English Ordinal. What? Joe just landed on day 97, 351. NACS corner spot, next level water, 351 in the same cipher. Joe just landed on day 97, 303, 33. What? What? Come on, and look, we have that 153 in the reverse reduction, and we know the 117 has played a big role. Guys, you don't see? We've been covering this whole time since day one. We've been covering it this whole time since day one. Since day one. And just wait until I get into where I think Joe is right now. And so this is some good notes from Nate he brought to my attention. So everybody's asking, where's Joe? Where's Joe? Where's Joe? Where is Joe equals 153 in reverse ordinal. He brought this to my attention. We're going to talk about the Philippines real quick. But look, you see, where's Joe? Where's Joe? Well, he's with his son. 54 in reduction, 54 reverse reduction. Sun equals 54 in English ordinal. Well, where's Joe? We're about to get biblical soon because it's a biblical story now that we figured out with his son. So that goes into where possibly, Joe could be. But I want to go back up to this. Joe has that phrase AMDG, ad Morium the Glorious, something that's a Jesuit motto. So, he's affiliate with, the Jesuits, which is like an offset of Christianity and Catholicism, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, this is a nice little Easter egg on how Manny, Joe, the Jesuits, and the Philippines are all connected. And this is how it all plays into, the storyline, the narrative of where this company is going to come. So, after much training and experience in theology, Jesuits went across the globe in search of converts to Christianity. Despite their dedication, they had little success in Asia, except in the Philippines. Ooh, nice. So they had success in the Philippines. Where's Manny from? The Philippines. Joe is, he said he is a part of, the Jesuits. Wow. So look, where's Joe? 153. The Republic of the Philippines, 153 reduction. 135, that's a permutation that is important as well. Wow. Wow, wow. And this is where I think he's at right now. I think he's in the Philippines. I think he's going to drop us a bomb at some point this week. Maybe at the distribution facility in the Philippines or something like that. I don't know, but I think that's where he's at, and I have something to back it up. Joe Pavlik just landed in the Philippines, equals 400 in English ordinal. Joe just landed on day 97 Ltnc, equals 400 in English ordinal. And look, what does 400 equal? 55 in reverse reduction. So I really do think Joe is in the Philippines right now, based off what I found and based off what Nate just gave me on these notes as well. And I said on Twitter, Joe has the nuclear football right now. He can detonate, the stock at any point and send this thing flying with the right news. And lo and behold, look, Joe has the nuclear football, equals 400 in the reverse ordinal. No coincidences. It all aligns. So that's where I think Joe's right now. And I think we're going to get some news on that soon. And 400 equals 38 in reverse reduction as well. Goat water equals 38 in reduction. 52 reverse reduction. Form 8K equals 35 in reduction and reverse reduction. Form 8 and 8K equals 60 in English ordinal and 33 in reduction. Form 8 has that 101 in English ordinal, which 56 in reduction, and 43 in reverse reduction. All aligns with the numbers we've been talking about with this company. All align. All align, right? And then we get into that IRS number I talked up before. It equals up to 38 with numerology. Then we have Ryan Shadell, Form 8, 103, that 13, and that 104, next level, Ltnc, big numbers. And that Falcons Cup, watch, that Falcons Cup, it comes from Ryan's Twitter as well. It's kind of like a signal that he did the right thing. Falcons Cup, you see these numbers, 110, 38, 52, watch. Falcons Cup, cheers, because what the job he just did for the company. Thank you, Ryan, for taking back, the labor side of the company and helping us move forward at a better rate. So, and he has that Falcons Cup. But I have these last couple of decodes before we get into the conversation. Look at these. This is what I found, because everybody's like, oh man, after Ltnc next level, I'm never, investing in the penny stock market again in the OTCs. Well, look, Joe Pavlik, we know, equals 101 in English ordinal. But look, we see Joe Pavlik, we know, equals 101 in English ordinal. But let's go down. Joe Pavlik and water, and the last good OTC stock, both equal 70 in reduction and 101 in reverse reduction. Joe Pavlik and Water, the last good OTC stock, right? And then we have Next Level, the last good OTC, and the last good OTC stock, and Joe Pavlik Water all have connections. They all equal 101 in reverse reduction. We have that 272 with Joe Pavlik and Water and Next Level, last good OTC. You want to see that. And then we have that 70 right there. But we all have that 101. So, guys, we're in the right stock, y'all. Like, if you have invested this far, if you have went through all the tribulations, the struggles, the red days, you might as well. I'm not a financial advisor. You need to do what you need to do yourself. But, ride it out. Let's get paid. Let's get paid. But without further ado, let's get into that conversation I had with Nate, which sums up this whole storyline that we've been covering so far up until this point. I know you guys are going to love it, and watch the end, please.
July 14th, 2021 was all about 26, and like I said before, 2, 6, or 26 can be expressed with numerical symbols, or it can be expressed with letter symbols, and it's all the same, and there are permutations of that number. But 2-6 was all about the birthday celebration ritual of the nootropic energizer, and we're going to prove it with Gematria and the date numerology as well. So on July 14th, if you look at the date numerology, at least two of them, if you add up all the numbers that make up that date, 7, 14, and you divide the year into two parts, 20 and 21, you come up with 62. Same thing, except you separate the 20 and the 21 to get 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 is 26. And those are mirrors of each other, 2, 6, 6, 2. And there are other permutations of that number, 92 and 29. They all fit and play together. And I've never thought about this until this decode, but when I laid out those numbers, I said, hey, wait a minute. With all of that, you see 6, 9, and 9, 6. And we've talked about that before and how important it is and how that number represents cycles, and it shows up in the zodiac of Cancer with that symbol.
Yep.
The Masonic arch. If you see that on the arch, if you Google Masonic arch, you'll see that symbol, the 6-9 symbol in the arch. So they all work together. So I said that you can either use the numbers for symbols.
Yep.
To come up with 26, or you could use letters, and that 29 is related to 26. And Gematria shows that if you spell out the word using letters, 2, 6, and what some people call the pure cipher, full reduction, it equals 29.
Ooh.
I think that should be pretty obvious for everybody.
And with the digital clock, we talk about 56 and 95, how you put me onto that. That was huge. Like when you were telling me, hey, when you look at a digital clock, the numbers kind of change because you can start flipping the 5s, the 2s, and it still makes sense. And it still works for the 9s. It just, a 9 turns into 6, a 6 turns into 9 when you flip the mirrors. And it gets into the trickery of things. And when I found that out, I'm like, whoa, that opened up like a whole new realm in the Matrix to the numbers.
Yeah, it's funny how the hidden or the occult works, because it's just that, it's hidden. It's not stuff that we are overtly taught. So moving on, there's a date there. And the reason why that date is there is because this is the date that I'm calling Nootropic Energizer's birthday. And that's Joe tweeted about it. You can read
Yes.
That was the last tweet that he's put out. So from that point is 26 days. Let's move on. So I've highlighted one phrase. There are other phrases you can look at or words in the tweet like focus. Doesn't he talk about focus? Yes. Focus and mood.
Yep.
Those words have some good gematria to them. So I encourage the listeners or viewers to look it up. But nutrition history equals 9-2. There's that 9-2 again.
The flip.
Go ahead.
I just said the flip. That flip mirror.
Yeah, there you go. It's right there. Same with the date. If you write out using numbers 6/18 through 7/13, it equals 26. And I put a note to the side because a lot of times people get confused with time slots. When you go from one day to another day, I call that just a time frame. But when you include the last day, that's called a span. You start putting things into date calculators, and it asks you to include the last day or not include the last day. You can get different values, and it's important you know that because the people who are behind these rituals, or if you want to call it the matrix, whatever you want to call it, those things are taken into account. And sometimes both of them are relevant. So I just thought I'd point that out. Moving on to July 14th, which is the first day that Joe did not tweet. If you type in July 14th using TH, the numbers 14 and TH, it equals 101. And we've been talking about this lately, and maybe you can expound upon it for those watching.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm smiling because, I've been in the Discords now, the Ltnc Discords. I've talked about the 101 symbolism, them entering, like, when a 101 is their pillars. Like, you love talking about pillars. It's a pillar. 1 and 1, the 0 is a portal into a new era. It's a window. There's nothing there, but there's still pillars. You're entering when you use that number. And why I said I'm smiling because that was the first day Joe just like flat out flagrantly missed the day 100 tweet. A tweet through the day 100. It was just like a flagrant miss. But Joe Pavlik equals 101 in English ordinal as well.
There you go.
Yep.
And later on, when we're talking about on the other part of the presentation, we're going to get into that heavily. I don't know if it was you or Joe tweeted something. Joe adopted this moniker, but Magic Joe Pavlik, right?
Yeah, I gave that. Yeah, I gave it to him. Yeah.
Well, you did so appropriately. I mean, what? I don't even know if there's a more befitting name than that or title, because that's what he is. He's the magician, performing the tricks.
Yep, 100%.
Magic spells, however you want to look at it.
Yep, and it always goes back to the number 33.
So you can see that 101 is the 26th prime.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the gematria of the words or letters prime number equals 62, and the word prime equals 29. So all of this, once again, is tying to these numbers. They are all playing very nicely together. And the key of everything, what is surrounding or revolving around, your tropic energizer, and look what that equals.
Dude.
Yep.
92 reverse reduction.
What'd you say?
92 reverse reduction.
Yep, 92 reverse full reduction. And check out birthday celebration.
92.
92. So we're going to talk about the fact that Joe didn't tweet on the 14th. And look at what the gematria of tweet is 62, or 62 in reverse ordinal, and in reverse full reduction is 26. So there you go again. It was by no mistake that Joe missed a tweet on that day.
me and you, we've been looking at Joe's tweets since day one. Like, we've been covering it since day one. You know, we've been having that. And I've been telling people, I'm like, y'all are getting scared. Like, y'all are getting the FUD, letting the FUD get to you. I've been telling y'all, me and Nate been telling y'all, the keys to this company has been into the daily tweets this whole time. And then, when I said that, they started going back and started looking at the tweets, and they were on Twitter talking about Joe and his tweets like the gospel. They hated on the mega tweet when it dropped. Everybody shitted on it. They hated it. But they went back to it mad quick when stuff started to get uncertain. Quickly. And again, we're going back to the Magic. What happened? On what day?
Okay, so I do want to give a shout out. As I was saying, when an uncertainty happened, we all had to go back of all the information that we got before, and it really sent us back into the mega tweet. But I do want to give a shout out to a person in the LTNC community, Next Level Nation. His handle is D.A.T.A. You can find him on Twitter, D.A.T.A, and I'm going to give him some love, and I'm going to show his little write-up he did, and it kind of goes with the date spans and with the SEC Form 10 that we most likely will be filling out. So I just want to give him some love because he did actually call the Ryan Shadell buying back the Labor Smart company too. So I'm just going to give him some love and show you guys his work because, you know, he was on a roll on Thursday and Friday. Okay, this is DA87's timeline that he whipped up this past week off of some of Joe's tweets, and he used the date spans that me and Nate were talking about. So I'm glad to see other people are starting to put the pieces together of Joe's daily tweets because even though people say they were useless, they hold a lot of value for where we're going moving forward. So 5/2 May 2nd, OTCM officially denied Joe. A request was made to obtain a PCAOB auditor to audit 2 years of financials to file Form 10 to become SEC reporting. On May 11th, Joe hired SMAK, famous legal team in NYC, for SEC, OTC, other matters to accelerate process and scrubbed for accounting. However, when you use PCAOB site to look up ScrubbedNet, they are not a PCAOB accredited. Mystery question for me. Also, they are finally at 410 or trying to go OTCM pink process, or are they doing both at the same time to ensure we are pink by 9/28? Smart man. The 14th of May, Joe received old books from Ryan and 5 accountants from Scrubbed and was assigned from legal team to review what was missing and told status updates will be provided next week. He hired Shopify, an integrated accounting system, QuickBooks, for Next Level products. We were told status update was coming this week, and it came in the form of legal update stating MSK Legal is working on annual update opinion materials that will go get OTC Pink. Current process completed. Now is Form 10 or were they working on OTCM app? Mind you, with Form 10, it takes 60 days, give or take according to Discord knowledge. 7/20 is 60 days, which also happens to be 100 days of takeover. Very interesting day for us, which should be very interesting. Make a tweet confirms May 14th tweet that Scrubbed indeed received QuickBooks and assigned 5 accountants from review old financials. See row 4. Now, if old labor books were such a mess and needed so much work, why in the world would Joe use the same company for Next Level products? Perhaps old QuickBooks just meant like old books. But this is a mystery question for me. See row 4 from 6/4, June 4th to 7/14. To date, accountants had 6 weeks with their hands on old accounting books. Going to the next one. 7. June 4th. Mega tweet stating once OTCM allows Joe to file application, it will be filed and legal MSK is on it. When pink current, then they will file SEC at the same time they change ticker with FINRA. They were told by legal they can meet any filings deadlines. Now, this confirms to me they are planning on submitting a new app with OTCM. However, see row number 1 where Joe tweets he's working on is filing Form 10, which confirms me thinking that they were simultaneously working on both a new OTCM Pink application and Form 10. Few other important dates. June 7th, labor work Labor Smart trademark sold, possible money for Form 10. And then the 10th of June, Ltnc officially dropped from company. The 14th of June, Joe states more news until pick. Yep, that's what we've been doing. A few other important dates. The 23rd of June, Joe Sue stands for manipulation, among other things, more than 75. The 30th of June, this is publicly advised, due date to the OCCM companies. Oh, that was a deadline for they need to start the pink process. Mid-August with the 13th of TDA we talked about. And we have the September 28th. On the 11th of July, Joe announced that he's getting updates from legal accounting sometime this week. We got that. We got that Friday in the form of Ryan Shadell. So we'll say here's your DD, folks. Chill. Thank you, D.A.T.A. for that. You did great work, and I loved how you put a lot of tweets together and a lot of date spans together to get a good picture painted with some good DD. Great job.
The mega tweet. Day 67, 33 days left in the 100-day, the 100-day the launch for next level, and promises made, promises kept. We know that equals 303, and then Joe promises made, promises kept equals 333.
So it all points. I'm chuckling because I don't see how people who criticize this work don't see it. Day 194. Obviously, it's not a part of Joe's tweets series, but it was the 194th day of the year, which was July 13th. Day 194 equals 26, or 26 in full reduction, and 29 in reverse full reduction. July 13th is the 194th day of the year. This is something, I Googled July 13th, and this is what came up. And if anybody wants to check it, all they have to do is Google it, and it will tell you that it was the 194th day of the year. So if you type in July 13, it equals 26. Last tweet equals 26. So it's all there. If you understand this language, it will open your eyes to other mysteries and truths that have been hidden from you.
Wow, dude. I'm just sitting here. That's crazy, and it goes back to what you were just talking about, how people were talking about, now everybody in the face of uncertainty, everybody now is going back to the mega tweet, the Bible, and who made it. Well, I'm not saying Joe's not a god, but in this circumstance of a play and a storyline, I mean, he's playing, people, some of the magic tricks he does. I'm not saying he's God, but, you could say he's an archetype of what, maybe a god would want to be.
Okay, y'all, we're going to get into some of the character roles in the stage play of this company. The circus. This is the drama, this is the circus, but it's all for a reason. All right, this is magic, this is a ritual, summoning of energy. All right, this is where it gets really esoteric. Nate does an awesome job.
I would, say all four words together, as you like it, as if it's something the way I want it to be. But I had an epiphany about that phrase, and if you divide it up into the two first words and the two last words, as you like it, it's very similar to the phrase "as above, so below," or "as within, so without." Things of that nature. And that's what I believe Shakespeare, if it really was Shakespeare, meant when he wrote the play, or I don't know if it was a sonnet play, I'm not a literature guy, with those words. And look at the first line, the first sentence of that play. All the world's a stage. All the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. Look what that sums to.
620.
620. We know that we don't have to count zeros.
That's real.
Look at the word you and it. I'm not talking about 16 or 91 in this presentation, but as you, like it, you and it, it's the same. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
As in, so without, as above, so below. Look at the other words. It says in this first sentence of the play, it says, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being seven ages. If you use the number 7 and write the word ages, it equals 29. An age equals 26. Act 1 through 7 equals 29. Reenactment equals 6-2. And in this part of the presentation, I'm going to explain that the whole story of Ltnc, everybody has a part, from Char to Joe to Stanley to Manny, and they're all playing their parts. So look at the Gematria. Joe equals God.
Yes.
9. Joseph, 26. Joe's son, 92. And I'll explain this and then we'll go back. Well, if the storyline is in parallel with the Bible and it tells the story of creation, the nativity story, which is the birth of Christ, and the second coming of Jesus, then it makes sense that one of the people in the story would have to play God, and that person is Joe.
100%.
And if it's about the birth of Jesus, or it parallels that, well, God is Jesus' father, and so is Joseph. So you have Joseph equaling 26 and Joe equals God being 29. That fits. And Joe's,
I said, no, that's crazy. No, I'm just like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and Joe's son obviously is Jesus. So that was a connection I wanted to point out when you said, man, and I get it. People are sensitive when it comes to saying a person is God or things along that line, but that's the way it plays out. And if you listen to one of the audio recordings that I sent you, Schism talks about that, and he's quoting or he's explaining Aleister Crowley's philosophy. And, well, I say philosophy, but...
Listen to this part. It all makes sense. It doesn't mean that, anybody's following Aleister Crowley. It doesn't matter, who a person is, whether they're good a person, bad intentions. Everybody has some knowledge to share. Knowledge in a lot of different ways is unbiased. And what he's about to say right now with Aleister Crowley and what he said goes with positive or negative and mind-blowing stuff.
What he teaches about essentially how the world works and how magic works.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, in order to have the highest degree of success with magic or a ritual, you have to reenact the story of a deity.
Huh.
Yeah, just when you get a chance, I don't know if you can play it now or whatever, but listen to that. And I forget which book of Aleister's it's from. I haven't read any material other than blurbs online. But that's exactly what's playing out with the Ltnc story. They're reenacting the story of a deity and Jesus. So if it holds true that the most powerful magic is their reenactments of the story of a deity, then Ltnc has no choice but to succeed.
Yeah, so we're at like in a creation story in Genesis, I should say. Genesis.
Yeah, so last tweet obviously is 26, and the reason why I put that in there is because we were talking about July 13th, and that was the last time he tweeted. And I don't want people to misunderstand me thinking screenshot is from Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. And I don't have to read it to you, but it's talking about when God rested on the seventh day. Look at the Gematria for that. 2062.
Wow. Let me read it off. Wow. 2662 in English Ordinal. Genesis. Thus the heaven and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. Wow. 2662.
Also, a lot of times there are some interesting numbers with the letter count and the word count. And this is very interesting because the letters in that verse, this is from the King James Version, is 260. Once again, I think we talked about this before. You know, zeros are negligible. You don't have to use them when you count values. You always say it's their place.
And God equals 26 in English Ordinal too. So with that verse equaling 260, with God equaling 26 in English Ordinal, oh man, this is mind-blowing.
Yep.
Essentially, that's saying 26 again. This next part, you know,
It's unbelievable. I'm looking ahead. It's unbelievable. I'm just like,
I can't explain how it came to my mind to do what I did, but I just said it. I said, "Hey Siri, what's 7 divided by 26?" I know why I did it. I was thinking about 26, obviously, and God resting on the seventh day. But the answer, okay, you mind explaining that?
it's the flip mirrors. It's the flip mirrors.
It's how did that happen? Did I manipulate that for those things? You know, you manipulate numbers and you can get any phrase or word that you want to. I didn't do that. This math existed before I was here and will exist even if I'm not here. So 7 divided by 26 is 0.2692. All the numbers we're talking about. And for those of you who have iPhones, all you have to do is say, "Hey Siri, what's 7 divided by 6?" I have an iPhone, and that's a screenshot. Obviously, I need to take a little bit better care of my battery, but it is what it is. And also look at the time.
Yeah.
I don't think we brought it up before, but not only does the Ltnc narrative, or most narratives for that matter, not only do they run parallel with the storyline of a god, but with the other events that happen on the world, whether it's the events of September 11, 2001, or the launching of a rocket to the moon, as they tell us, back in 1969, or any other event. It's all theater. It's all...
So we're at rested and Joe rested portals.
Yeah, so that's right in parallel with the Genesis story. And after the creation, after God created man, or after God created everything that he created according to the story, God rested. So did Joe. And this happened to be in a 26-day ritual. I think we talked about that time span a little earlier, from 6:18 when he made the announcement about nootropic energizer. He uses the words, "Nootropic energizer is born." If you go back and look at the tweet from day 79 that was on June 18th, those are his words, not mine. So, just like after God rested after his creation, 26 days later, symbolically, Joe did the same thing. Rested equals 26. And Joe rested equals 101. We've already discussed that 101.
Wow! That hits home. That hits home. 26 days. Wow. Wow. That hits home. He rested on his 26th day. Oh my god. 101 is the 26th prime. Unbelievable. This is wild.
Is the 26th prime number.
That's crazy. That is, it's so like that's why you're such a value to the community, because you bring it a different way. You bring it a biblical way, and it just aligns perfectly. And it's crazy how the universe works, and it gave us opportunity to cover something like this, because we have to be the first people online to do something like this, like, and it's not like we're hiding there. It's publicly. It's on my YouTube, and it's like it's a stock. Like what were people doing with Tesla? That's a big company. That definitely has Gematria. Like I've done a video about Tesla and Tiger Woods. Like it has Gematria all day. Like a Coca-Cola, like it's like that's crazy. But we're on the ground floor, and I'm so excited, and I'm happy that we've done it a different way, because this is evergreen content. Like at the end of the day, this is timeless. This is timeless stuff.
Well, I hope it's making an impact on people. I know Gematria has changed my life, and it was a long path for it to have the impact that it did. Because, like I said before, I ridiculed the people who talked about numbers and words, and that our matrix was encoded the way it is. But now I see the only thing that it takes time, and when I say it takes time, it doesn't have to be a long time, but for me it was relatively long. You just have to sit down and really examine what this language is, and when you study, you'll begin to understand. So moving forward, once again on this page, I included the quote from as you like it. I'm gonna stop saying it as you like it, because I believe it's the same as above, so below. So as you like it. But look underneath that, and there are even more parallels. Old Testament and New Testament equals 92. Obviously, that's the way the Bible is divided. It's divided into two parts called the Old and New Testament. Genesis and Revelation. The first book of the Bible, the last book of the Bible, 92. Genesis, Revelation equals 260 in reverse ordinal. Bible story, 62. Revelation 12, which is the key story in the end of the book that we focus on. And one of the big one, Take Over Joe, obviously equals 62. Mm-hmm. So we talked about the two sixes, the 9 2s, the 6 2s, and the 2 9s. So now there's kind of a shift where some numbers on the page that people who follow you should be familiar with, but it's the first time using them in this breakdown, and that's 137. But let's look at it. Nootropic Energizer Ritual equals 137. So does Nootropic Energizer Born.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it equals 137. And we know that 137 is the 33rd prime and how important that is. So that's pretty much all I needed to know to help it make sense. But if you need more is there.
Yeah, this is what you would call a support level. Like, okay. Yeah. Like when you see something like and obviously I hope we're going to be doing stocks like this way after LTNC, Like, there's other storylines out there that we need to cover, but I'm pretty sure if we're going to stay in this matrix, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a 33, a 133, a 137, like, in there.
No, you hit on something. 133 is a very important number. I was doing some decoding with it the other day. We don't have to talk about it now, but Freudian slip or your higher self speaking through you, whatever it is, 133 is a very important number.
All right, I'm excited to listen to that.
So let's check it out. We're talking about 33 now. 137 is the 33rd prime. 33s. Once again, the date. 6/18/21 was the date Joe put out that tweet. And 7/14/21 was the day Joe went he went silent. And look at the Gematria for when you put the dates in numerically into the calculator. What does it equal?
33.
33. Now, you can call it a coincidence if you like, but I would make a strong case, or I don't even have to make a strong case. The numbers are making a strong case. It's not a coincidence. It's the way it works. It's the way it was orchestrated or planned out to be.
Magic, bro.
People can obviously see what's on the screen, and we talked about it before. I'll just reiterate. As you like it, as above, so below, and that's duality. And we pointed out before the Gematria for the word duality, and 69 is a dualistic number. It's often associated with the zodiac sign well, not often, it's specifically associated with the zodiac sign Cancer. And yin yang, they look like a 6 and a 9 dancing or swirling with one another. So, as you like it is, I think, coded, or Shakespeare, Francis Bacon, whoever you want to say, pen these words, or a group of people, they encoded it much deeper than what most people understand or what we're taught to understand. So you look through those phrases, you see the 69s and some of the other forms of 26 manifesting itself. But the whole point is associating the Ltnc saga with a story, or with plays, or with an act, or with theater. So you look down. Let's look at where it says the acts. The story of creation, the nativity story, and the second coming of Jesus. And the second coming of Jesus and the nativity story and the story of creation are themes in the Bible. They play out in Bible stories. I don't know how many people who are associated with religion or grew up in a church. That's a part of my past, so I was familiar with these storylines. So I saw the parallels really clearly. So if you're not familiar, it's easy. Just check out Genesis and the first chapter. Go to Matthew, those first couple of chapters, and check out some of Revelation, in particular Revelation 12, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, what you need to create a story or theater. Let's look at it. First of all, you need a script. Check out that Gematria for labor smart script. It equals 69, right? 29. You need an audience. 62. Director. 92. You need the stars of your show or presentation. 29. The stars equals 29. Cast equals 29. Stage equals 29. A release date. We've been talking about release dates with whether it was with the first product, the hydrogen water, or with the nootropic energizer. Release date equals 96. Hero equals 62. Villain equals 92. Now pay close attention to the spelling of that word because that's not how most people spell the word. I mean, I don't even spell it like that. But it just came to me to put it in the Gematria calculator like that. And if you doubt that that's a legitimate spelling, well, you Google it or look it up online. VILLAN is an obsolete form of the spelling that we currently use for villain. So it's legit. Chaos. You need chaos. Now, I sent you an audio recording. Maybe you can insert it into this presentation if you can't play it now. But it was the first one I sent you, and it talked about what you need for magic to work is you need the spirit of chaos. And chaos is 6. So, moving on. Magic. And I spelled magic this way for a specific reason, as we'll see shortly. But the traditional way you spell it, MAGIC, equals that old familiar number that I'm sure you're very familiar with, Art. This is part of your name, 33. The rituals, 137, which is the 33rd prime. Magic 101, 26. So maybe you can talk about the 101 there.
Well, the Magic 101, again, when you're using magic, you're essentially, you're bending your realm. So you're, like the Looney Tunes movie I just saw, like, when you use magic, you're entering a place that you just left, and you're present. Yeah.
And the 101, as you described earlier, is an opening of portals. And I didn't send it to you, but I've been doing some other studying about the cosmos and how the sun and moon interact with one another. And they're essentially clocks. They're time keepers or time pieces, celestial bodies. If you go back in Genesis, I forget which verse it is, but it's the first chapter, and on the 4th day, it's when it said that God created the sun, moon, and the stars, and that we should observe them for signs and for seasons. Anyway, moon clock equals 101, and sun clock equals 26, and that's all dealing with time. And sun, moon clock equals 47, time equals 47, and time ritual equals 47. So those are all things pertaining to this ritual with Ltnc, because they're time span rituals that are taking place. So back to the other things you need to perform this magic. You need a script. Script equals scripture is 101.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. The secret ingredients. If you think about magic, a lot of times people think about potions or, it's presented in cartoons as the old hag or the witch over a cauldron, brewing with her witch's brew. So you need the secret ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Scripture equals mind portal equals 96. Mind portal equals 69. And what are all these things doing? They're influencing spirit. They're influencing the mind. They're spells. Magic Joe Pavlik equals 62. Magic spelled with a G-I-C-K equals 26. Hollywood Wands equals 62. And, maybe not so much yet, but you can see how Joe reaches out to celebrities and incorporate them to promote his products. Broadcast equals 29. Spell equals 26. And we're talking about the stock market and, in this case, Ltnc. Stock market manipulation equals 92. You're going to need a little of that, or it's going to be involved.
A lot of that.
Yeah, I remember some days I see the Ltnc stock just barcode and looking at the chart. I'm like, what? How do you just bounce from this number down to this number every 10 seconds? It was very predictable. It was weird, but that's what you need. Stock market manipulation. Cast spell equals 26. And what is this company based on? It's based on the production and selling of canned water. Water magic equals 62. So those are some of the things you need.
Or you could say magic water. A lot of people think, it's magic water. So water magic or magic water, it's the same thing.
For the magic part. Now, what about the real life tangible part, which I think you're going to get a kick out of? You need the casters. So we're dealing with magic. So who's going to cast the magic? The casters equals 62. So let's take a look at the cast. Joe equals God. We've already touched on this earlier when we were talking about not wanting to deify Joe or call him God, but maybe for a part 2 or a different time, we can talk about Jesuit Joe and Joe's open affiliation with being a Jesuit. He went to what was the name of the school he went to? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Wasn't like Kent State?
Yeah, he went to Kent State University. And the funny thing about Kent State, I sent you this. I don't know how quickly you could open it up, but you should have an email of this file. It's called Jesuit Joe. Kent State was established September 27th, excuse me. And the formation of the Society of Jesus, which Joe is openly affiliated with, was founded the 27th of September as well.
Yep.
So it's no coincidence, or it's not a stretch to say that Joe is a Jesuit, or he's affiliated with the Society of Jesus. Ad Majorem Dei Gloriam.
Yeah.
Which is an acronym for the greater glory of God, but it should be a part of his profile.
Yep. His description, bio.
Yeah. So at the top, you should see the logo of his school and the logo of the Society of Jesus.
Same thing.
Yeah. So you look at when they were founded, his school and the Society of Jesus, it's exactly the same. I just wanted people to know that when I start talking about Joe and the son, or being related or associated with the Society of Jesus or Jesuits, that I wasn't, pulling that out of thin air.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So let's go back to the casters, the people who are actually making this story work. Obviously, we've talked about Joe. Joe equals God, has a numerical value of 29 in full reduction. Joseph, the father of Jesus, equals 26. And I want to point this out. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see that it says nootropic man. Nootropic man equals 153. And that's important because 153 has been a number associated with Jesus, whether it's the 153 fish, or other phrases that sum to 153 that are associated with Christianity or Jesus. And I think we've talked about that in one of our first chats when we pointed out the fish symbol and what it means. The words or letters in Greek, and that it sums to 153 as well. But let's take a look at the other things that are associated with 153. Joe's son equals Jesus. It equals 153. And in this case, Joe's son is Manny Pacquiao. something as being born, or it could even represent man. It's all symbolic. It doesn't have to be exact as far as, okay, how can an energy drink be a person? It's not like that. It's all symbolism. Don't take it so literally. All right, if we look up two slides to the right, you have two statements that equal 153, and that's reenactments of stories from the cosmos, reenactments of stories from the Bible. They both have the same gematria and the same cipher. And I think that's significant because the stars tell the same story that the Bible does. And the stars, if you look at constellations, whether it's Orion or whether it's the Pleiades or whether it's, why can't I think right, all the constellations, Virgo, they all tell the story of the gods. And I thought it was important to point that out with that 153.
Yeah, that makes makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I thought it was pretty amazing that both of those things equaled, had the same gematria.
Earth algorithm equals 153 too.
Earth algorithm, huh?
Yeah.
Earth algorithm. The algorithm that is controlling this matrix.
Yeah.
The main star of the show, Jesus himself, and there's a tweet. I didn't look it up for this, but off the top of my head, thinking about it, there was a tweet that Joe had where he, I think it was Easter Sunday. Easter tweet was on April 4th, and it says, "Today we celebrate the most epic comeback in history of the GOAT of all GOATs." So there's a decode that I didn't put in here, and it has to do with the redemption story, and I forgot whether it had 92, 26. It had gematria that's parallel, but the whole point of this is he says the most epic comeback of all time, and he's talking about the greatest GOAT of all time. And who's the GOAT he's referring to? He's referring to Jesus, right? He's referring to Jesus as being the greatest GOAT of all time, because this tweet was on Easter Sunday. So going back to the presentation, Manny is playing Jesus. He's already been associated with Ltnc as being one of the GOATs, right?
Yep.
So I think that's pretty clear to see. Let's break down Manny's name. It's not his full name in the sense that it doesn't have senior on the end of it, but his name is Emmanuel D.A.T.A. And Emmanuel in itself means God with us. In the Bible, there's a in the New Testament it talks about that. Forgot where it is exactly. Maybe if you look in the first couple of books of Matthew when it's telling the story, you'll be able to find it. But Emmanuel D.A.T.A. equals 135. Manny equals Immaculate Conception equals 135. So I'm painting the picture, or the letters and the numbers are painting the picture. It's a clear association with Jesus. His name is Emmanuel, for crying out loud. Manny equals Immaculate Conception. The Immaculate Conception is the conception of Jesus. Check this out. Sun ritual equals 135. Jesus is the sun. Many people associate Jesus with being the sun in the sky, not a person that walks the planet. Sun ritual equals 135. Reenactment of Jesus' resurrection equals 135. Now check this out. We were talking about this the other day as far as Char's association with Manny, and this is going to be revealing as to what her part is. It's no secret, or at least it's out in the ethos, that Char is behind, or I say Char, it's a nickname of hers, but we're talking about Sharmila Vishwasa.
Yep, that works. Yep.
Familiar with how to say her name. I just see the letters. But Char equals Manny Deal. She's the person behind it. That equals 135. role in the story, which is the Virgin Mary. That's her role. She was behind giving birth to Manny, symbolically, of course. And I don't know her personally, so I don't know if she's a virgin or not, but that's not the point. The point is symbolism. She symbolically gave birth to Manny Pacquiao, or the Son of God, or Jesus, by being behind this deal. Look at the gematria of her name. Sharmila Viswasam.
Wow.
62. Vishwasam, 26. Shar, 62, 26. Shar equals virgin, 62. Virgin Mary, 62. Woman in white, 62. Now, I didn't pull woman in white out of thin air, even though a woman in white typically symbolizes purity, like a bride on her wedding day wears a white dress to symbolize purity. A lot of times that purity is supposed to be virginity. So if you read that, the scripture at the bottom of the last page, the happy birthday, it'll talk about a woman clothed in white. In verse number 1, it says, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and her head a crown of 12 stars. And being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered." So this passage, or these passages, is associated with the constellation Virgo. Virgo, the Virgin. So I guess the readers can go and
Dude, that's wild. And I remember she had these numbers. I remember she had these numbers really back early on, but I just didn't have a connection to it then. But it makes sense now.
it's all a part of the biblical narrative and the parallel. So back to the as you like it, back to the actors, the casters. We figured out the role of Joe, figured out the role of Manny, figured out the role of Shar. So let's keep on going.
Now the head honcho.
The head honcho, the man who was cast out, it's like Satan was cast out. So that's his role. Stan equals Satan is 62. Stanley equals Lucifer is 62. And there are people who debate what Lucifer really is, whether Lucifer is the devil or not. That's not the point. The point is that it's in the ethos or in people's minds that Lucifer is the devil. So
perception is everything. Perception is everything.
Yeah, and this has to do with what's in the minds of the masses. So Lucifer was an angel of light, and there are passages of scripture that say, be aware. I won't quote it exactly, but Satan himself can be transformed into an angel of light. So anyway, Lucifer, the light bearer, that's what Lucifer really means, the light bearer, but angel of light equals 62. In the story of Jesus' birth, there was a king who tried to destroy Jesus, who tried to kill all the babies that were born, whether it's going to be nootropic energizer or whether it's Jesus who's represented as Manny. And it's a direct parallel into some of the things that Stan said about the stop. You know, the bad-mouthing it, talking down to it, or talking to Joe.
Trying to steal Danny.
Isn't that something? How does that even work, man? Come on.
Yeah, like how do you even think you're going to get away with that?
Exactly. So it all fits. Stan equals King Herod is 206. Revelation, Satan, the devil, and it uses those words right next to each other. The dragon, it calls Satan the dragon, and the dragon equals 92.
That's wild.
All of these things put their characters in the characters in play. And like I said, I haven't done anything on Ryan. I didn't even think to, but I'm sure that he has a distinct role that will be.
Yeah, he definitely. I would be excited to see what type of things you can find on him, because now he's kind of playing like the comeback kid. Like he's kind of saving the day.
Mm-hmm. And that's something.
Yeah. He was the drunkard first. Like, oh, you're drunk. You cooked the books. Yada yada yada. You know, you. Well, I mean, that still could be true, even though they said it wasn't anyway. But now, you know, he takes it back and sets us forward.
The redemption story. It all plays, man. It all plays. So after you've assembled all the ingredients, you know, to perform your magic spell ritual. After you've assembled the cast, the people who are going to actually cast the spell, and it's time for the performance. The performance equals 69. Once again, we're coming back to that number over and over and over again. One of the most obvious time frames in the Ltnc ritual is March 1st to July 20th, culminating with the completion of the 100-day marathon. And there was some gematria. I didn't put it in here because, once again, my computer it turned off and I lost all my work. I can go back and maybe send you something by the time you edit this video, but it has to do with finishing the race or finishing the marathon. And one of Joe's first tweets, I think it was on day 1, it may have been day 2, was about this not being
a sprint. This is a marathon.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Anyway, I'll go back and look, but it has significant gematria. And he started off saying that this isn't a sprint, that it's a marathon. One of the biggest rituals of this whole saga is the 100-day tweet, or the end of the 100-day marathon, which I don't think is going to be the biggest day. We can save this for another time. I think July 26th is going to be the biggest day. It's going to be fireworks. We'll talk about why later. But anyway, from March 1st to July 20th is going to be a big day. And this ritual is really 101 days, but we'll talk about that later because, as you know, there was some manipulation that took place for July 20th to actually be the 100th day.
Yep.
The ritual, or one of the big timelines that stands out in the Ltnc ritual, is from March 1st to July 20th. And March is in the sun sign of Pisces, or March 1st is. And July 20th is in the sun sign of Cancer. And look at Pisces Cancer ritual. It equals 29.
Wow.
Pisces and Cancer equals 209. The month Pisces, the zodiac sign Pisces and the zodiac sign Cancer alone, they equal 26. So again, all of these, July 13th and July 14th was all about 26s and 29s. And not only that, look at the descriptions of these signs. Pisces, the element for Pisces is water. The element for Cancer is water. Ltnc, Next Level, Takeover Joe, they are a water company. So it's no accident that these symbols or these signs are so strong with them. Not only that, look at the gematria for lines, it's important to understand the moon as well, where it's located in the zodiac. March 1, 2001, which was the kickoff for this marathon, the moon was in the sign of Libra. July 20th, when the ritual is supposed to end, the moon will be in the sign of Sagittarius. Libra Sagittarius ritual equals 96.
Unreal. Crazy.
And all of this, in my humble opinion, is pointing to another ritual which will take place on July 23rd, which is the Olympic Games. And we've talked about that before, how the Olympics should play a big role in what's going on with Ltnc. So we know you can write the date, July 23rd, in some parts of the world, 23, putting the day first, and then the month, 23/7. And March 1, 2001 through July 20th, 2021, I said 2001, I meant 21, equals 237. Also, Libra Sagittarius ritual equals 327, which is that date written completely backwards. 723 written backwards is 327. So, the fake narrative, or the fake Ltnc narrative, also equals that same, has that same gematria. So, all very, very interesting numbers. I know we've talked a long time, and hopefully it's not too much, but very important numbers that paint a clear picture of the narrative that's being played by the Ltnc company and Joe Pavlik and the rest of the characters involved.
Well, guys, man, it was a long video. If you've gotten to the end, I love you for it. I love you for it. But hey, man, hopefully this was knowledgeable. You learned a lot. This is mystery school. Like, you went to a mystery school today. Nate, you killed it. Thank you for your decodes, man. I mean, I think we're a really good team when we chop it up on the phone. I think it's a great conversation. We have 2 days left in the 100-day challenge. We're looking pretty good. Again, through this whole time, I've been documenting it. It's a storyline. Grab your shares when you can. Buy what you can. This company is going to do something amazing, and I can't wait to be a part of it. And I can't wait for you guys to be a part of it. I'm not going to hold your time anymore if you've gotten to this far. Thank you for watching. I love you. Art Turner, D.A.T.A Productions Media. Dreams are tangible. Aspirations where we scheme our dreams into existence. And I'll see you very soon.